You are right, and I agree with that 100%. You know what? Half measures avail us nothing. It's a 12-step saying, but it's so true. If he's a racist, if it was racial animus, don't dance around the big elephant in the room.
Exactly.
Just charge him with what you think he's really about.
Exactly.
Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It doesn't make sense that no matter what kind of a firehead you are, or whatever they call that, hothead, you're going to shoot somebody 10 times because they mouthed off for you. It doesn't make sense. That's why the jury is having a hard time, I believe. Go ahead, Brian Claypool.
Jane, you don't need to charge as a hate crime to get this into evidence. There's something called rebuttal.
Yes, you do.
And the prosecution clearly, in their rebuttal case, could have called the neighbor to talk about Dunn's racial animus. The problem with the jury here, let me finish. The problem here is that the jury has to decide whether a nice guy who's at a wedding earlier in the day, who's simply going to a 7-Eleven or a store to pick up wine, is capable then of simply shooting 9 shots at somebody in a car without something else triggering him to do that, i.e. his life was threatened.
Well, or racial animus, Wendy.
That's why you need the racial animus.
No,
you need that.
Here's why you're wrong.
Yes,
he didn't have his witnesses take the stand and say he's a nice non-racist white guy. Had they done that, then you're right. You can put up, yes, he is racist and he has been racist, and let me tell you why. That's not what they said. In order to get such incendiary evidence in, and it was relevant here, they should have charged as a hate crime. That makes it presumptively relevant in the prosecution's case. Angela Corey didn't charge it because she's afraid. She's afraid.
Okay, Brian.
Jane, thank you. The prosecution here had a safety net. Even if you put aside the racial animus issue, the real central issue in this case was whether Jordan Davis was in his car at the time he was shot. Was he in the car? Was he trying to step out of the car, or was he out of the car? And here's where the prosecution blew it. They should have brought in an independent forensic pathologist or a shooting reconstruction expert with a mannequin that matched the height of Jordan Davis, and then put those probes with an independent witness in the mannequin, moved into evidence that mannequin. And I'll tell you why. Because when that jury asked for this dummy, they called it, if the prosecution had moved that into evidence, and that it was able to be sent back to that jury, it would have resolved their doubt at that moment as to whether Jordan Davis, now they're left with doubt.
On the other side of the break, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.